Attention all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Sunday morning. With us is Frank Tarentino. Are we ever going to make America drug-free? He's the Associate Chief of Operations for the DEA, Drug Enforcement Association for the Northeast region. Well, Frank Tarentino, give us an update.
John, it's Ken. I'm sorry. Could we redo? It's Drug Enforcement Administration.
Administration. Okay, I knew I got it wrong. All right, you ready, Alex? You ready to redo it?
Everything else is perfect.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Sunday morning. With us today is Frank Tarentino. Are we ever going to make America drug-free? Well, he's the Associate Chief of Operations for the Department. Jesus Christ. You know, let me do it again.
That's all right, John. I have a hard time with it, too, believe me.
You know, sometimes, I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. And then I did Lee Zeldin at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. He had to do it very early because he has to get on an airplane. All right. 3, 2, 1. Sunday morning. With us today is Frank Tarentino. And he's the Associate Chief of Operations for the Drug Enforcement Administration and the whole Northeast region. And, well, Frank Tarentino, are we ever going to make America drug-free?
Well, good morning, John. Yes, that's our ultimate objective, is to make the United States of America drug-free. And specifically, we have an operation that our administrator has titled Fentanyl-Free America, and that's something that we dedicate our men and women to every single day, and protecting the United States is of the utmost priority. But I want to talk today, John, about some complementary work that we do to our enforcement operations, and that's the National Prescription Takeback Day that comes up twice a year. It's coming up this Saturday, the 25th of April, and there's 4,000 locations around the United States of America. And what it is, it's an opportunity for the community to really partake in this effort to keep our safety and our security at the utmost in the minds of our young people in our community by taking their prescription drugs that are unwanted, unused, to these locations to drop off for destruction. And, it's a tremendous effort that we've had for the last 16 years across the country, 30 different operations, John. And over the course of those 30 operations, we've had a total of over 20 million prescription medication, 20 million pounds of prescription medication dropped off at these locations. So that's a tremendous effort and a incredible amount of prescription drugs that are, again, unwanted, unused, taken off the streets and potentially saved lives.
And right now, with all the boats President Trump and our military has knocked out coming in from Venezuela, and all the precautions that we're taking with the Mexicans cartels, give us the overall. Are drug sales down? I mean, is it getting tougher to get drugs in the Northeast area?
Well, John, there's always this challenge in drug law enforcement to stay ahead of the traffickers and their adaptability, their innovative and creative efforts to move their poison from Mexico into the United States. And, every time we shut down a critical entry point, or we investigate and just disrupt an organization, they sort of morph into a new area and develop a new technique. So we're always trying to stay ahead of them, and they're always, using new technology and new smuggling techniques. But I will tell you that we're having a tremendous amount of success. As you know, overdose deaths are over 25% down from last year. We're at about 84,076 in comparison to 112,323. So we've seen a tremendous amount of overdose deaths decline, and we've also seen the purity levels decline in the seizures that we have. We see less and less fentanyl powder on our city streets, but it's still an effort every single day to go out and identify these organizations and to remove that poison. And that's something I want to talk about next week when we talk about the Fentanyl Free America surge that's ongoing. And we've had a number of successful operations in New York City and throughout the Northeast that I think will illustrate this work.
People have the right to dream, and that's what I'm dreaming of, because I worry about our kids, our grandkids in the future. Are there some countries that are drug free?
I think that's a that would be the North Star. That would be the ultimate objective for any country, and that's certainly within reason here in the United States. If we continue to work collaboratively, if we continue to put pressure on these drug cartels, if we continue to work as a whole of government, we will have that kind of success, and we will eventually reach that point where we can save more lives and keep that poison, out of our schools, out of our communities. Because you're right, John. Our youth are worth this effort. That the safety and security of this country depends on our ability to protect our young people and protect our communities and to keep that poison off the streets, to keep the violence out of our inner cities. Like this is an effort that every single DEA agent, intelligence analyst, diversion investigator, every single professional within the DEA is committed to every day.
Hopefully it's getting better and better and better, and I don't understand the people that were opposing President Trump, that knocking out all those boats again that we talked about before. It just didn't make any sense, because make America safer. What else do you want to talk about on a Sunday morning to all the American people?
Well, John, I'd like for the American people to, again, understand the importance of the National Prescription Takeback Day, and I want them to take this opportunity when they hear this conversation between you and me, and they hear other public service announcements, to have conversations with their young children, to have conversations with people that maybe are vulnerable to substance use dependency. Because the people that have conversations, we see a 50% decline, or less likely to develop a substance use disorder. And what we find is only 22% of the kids that we interview have had any conversations with an adult or with a caregiver about the dangers surrounding illicit drug use or the abuse of illicit drugs. So we want the conversations to happen in the home. We believe that the community can help us. We believe a community problem is solved by the community, and we want the American people to help us, help them to keep America safe.
I agree 100%. Well, Frank Tarentino, thank you for everything you've done in the past and continue to do to help the American people and help our kids and save lives and get that stuff off our streets. And God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you, John.